What do it goddamn do around this thing? Welcome to the show. It's the Digital Pitt Boss. Baby. And you know how we do it. So where we at today? What it do golden to the rules. First in the building, huh? Yeah, man, I done picked a new topic to drop it. We're going to see how active we get on this one. Now, I've been kind of scanning the internet a little bit. The rap game is turned up. Gang of falsettos rapping these days. You got all kinds of them. One of the early rappers, I met him back when he was like 14, 15, out there in Tennessee, Cashville, Tennessee. Name is Lil Weezy. This was like 1996, to be exact. I was out there fucking with a couple of my homies who was on some rap shit. And we was in Cashville. Young Buck was there. Cash Money who came into town. My homie who owned the little record label out there, he was super balling, fresh out of Pacoima, and been in Tennessee for, I don't know, 10 years or more at the time. And he created a little rap game. When I get there, it's like Tennessee niggas is blooding and crippin' in 1996. My homies is blooding. They turning niggas in the city into bloods. Young Buck was running under their crew. And then I guess wherever you're going to find bloods, you're going to have to find some Crips because niggas got to be divided. You know how we do it. So one day they tell me, you know, Cashville coming to the records label or the studio. I slide out there. I pull up and then walk Birdman dripping in jewels. He had his old squad with him. Lil Weezy was popping in 96. He wasn't as big as he is now, but you can definitely tell he was gonna be. And I don't know what made them necessarily align themselves with being bloods, because it certainly isn't a part of their culture out there in New Orleans. And but yet, you know, niggas in the gang world, as in every other culture, they want some representation, some famous representation. And the best likelihood is that the rap game can provide you somebody who's popular that can represent your mentality. Now, blooding and cripping is not something where you trying to get a name or a rep on a major screen. It's absolutely contradictory to trying to be known. That's the purpose of having a gang name, because you can't be running around the streets with your real name. You be caught too quick. So the gang name is created so that you don't really know a nigga government. That's the purpose of the gang name. So niggas don't be calling you by your government name. Now in the hood, you want to representate. You want to rap. You want to rap around the hood because the hood gonna talk. everybody in the hood, you know, they gonna speak to each other. So if you running around the hood, nigga know you for selling dope, that's your rep. Nigga know you for being a buster and a coward, that's your rep. If you known for being a shooter, that's your rep. And that's how you walk around, and you get that rep, nigga, based on your actions. Peace to the Mr. Black Culture. Peace. We're going to see if we can turn this show up a little bit. I know this is the kind of topic that you know, y'all like this type of shit. But I particularly addressing New York Bloods because that's a bunch of goddamn confusion, just like New York consciousness, New York gay culture, New York every goddamn thing is all the way out of control because New York is such a big ass city that everything they do, they want to be number one because they got their city so big, so they want to be number one. But New York Bloods and New York Crips. But right now I'm dealing with the Bloods because that's more personified in the rap game. The Crips out of New York, I guess you can call 50 Cent a Crip or something. You know, he kind of came to the West Coast and linked up with the Crips and blase, right? And the reality is that it's ridiculous. But we're going to listen to somebody. I found one little clip. I didn't spend too much time. I could have really went and got like 30 clips for this show. But because y'all don't support my shit, I'm not about to be sitting here longer than 10 minutes looking for some shit. So if I don't pull nothing out the hat while I'm talking, y'all gonna got to go with these 2 little clips. I might go search for some other shit. But before I get knee deep into this conversation, let me start off with a little anthem song for the show. This one of my little homies out of Pacoima. And I'm telling you, this little nigga is certified gangster. Now, he done got older, so he ain't like a young dude no more. When I say little homies, that's gang talk, LA talk, West Coast talk for like black folks in my neighborhood younger than me. That's all that means, nigga, younger than me, nigga, little homie. That don't mean you ain't got more money than me or nigga, you can't run these streets and be harder than me or none of that type of shit. That ain't what it means. It just simply means somebody younger than you. And anybody older than you is the big homie. And that's just West Coast culture, hood culture. So let's drop this shit.
The West is back. Jake Hagel, G-Twin, you know, we ain't went nowhere, we just been in the lab, you know? It's all diary. My determination's more driven than ever. At the morning point to bring my derogatory statements to the FCC. Especially now their radio killing the dead. Niggas call me exaggerating or whatever I may seem. It's me by the outlook. I'm never guaranteed to jail. Get the recognition by nominating me. Step into the plate, just stripping ain't no swinging, no vibe. It's more than desperation on a team, nigga. Oh, nah, you disorders. Yeah, I fake on you, but not the majority. Ever since you came with death certificate, I invented it. Me and Jamal, corporation advocates. Studying my thug forefathers that established it. Now I'm something like an upgraded specimen. Now for me, the president, bringing leverage. Yeah, I'm big-headed and cocky like my measurement. I swear, I don't care if you speak my name in vain. Black guy in the game. I swear, I don't care if you pull my women in back of the crew. Jesus Christ. I swear, I don't care if you rolling on 24s. My mind's is unspoke. I swear. I don't care if you been nominated on the one big favorite. I see it in the trail. People want to slander me, but they fail. They don't want to see me ballin', rather see me in jail. Locked up, throw away to keep separated from family. That's a harsh reality. I gotta be flawless, no technicalities, I'm lawless. Make the progress, I took the TA, fuck him. He wanna prosecute the kid, but can't touch him. When we go to war, forget the repercussions. Hating on me, I went from nothing to something alive. I stay puffin', keep my name out of your mouth, arms jumping. The rumors don't fade me, all your assumption is spread reproduction. Witness the eruption, I'm hustling, getting money that you're not accustomed to. I represent that 5 times 2 when I use my pro tools like John when I do. I swear, I don't care if you speak my name in vain, black guy in the game. I swear, I don't care if you pull my women in back of the coochie to scrap. I swear, I don't care if you rolling on 24, 5 miles, it's unspoken. I swear, I don't care if you grabbing nominated off of one king favorite. I swear, the ones who perish quick when the spotlight's glaring up on his dictatorship. 81st in this language, y'all breaking it. Yeah, I ain't find a replacement. I ain't there with your basic. I'm outrageous, eligible to get your fixable spaces. I'm in incubating for too long in the basement. Still stoning the lies, trying to fall in the trench. Street protocol, the meaning the death gesture. I'm fed up, generic gold brands, feel the pressure. There's no vacating the premises. When I catch it, it's so thin, rhetoric full of Teflon texture. I follow textbook measures to prosper, go getter, and prison and dope sellers make my fingers shift rebellious. And so compelling, my game's propelling over your melon. I'm a packed in, I'm felon. I swear, I don't care if you speak my name in vain, black guy in the game. I swear, I don't care if you pull my women in back of the coochie to scrap. I swear, I don't care if you rolling on 24, 5 miles, it's unspoken. I swear, I don't care if you grabbing nominated off of one king favorite. I swear, I don't care if you speak my name in vain, black guy in the game. I swear, I don't care if you pull my women in back of the coochie to scrap. I swear, I don't care if you rolling on 24, 5 miles, it's unspoken. I swear, I don't care if you grabbing nominated off of one king favorite. I swear.
Oh yeah, I swear. That's gangster right there. Now, that might not be your type of rap. You know, you might be like, oh, that's that West Coast shit. Now, I rarely really get into these topics when I do my thing. I kind of veer off that gangster shit, even though, you know, y'all niggas get to playing and shit. And I'll go ahead and turn up real quick. And yeah, no. Because it's in me. But I don't want it to come out. Y'all don't want it to come out. It's like your boy, the Hulk. You don't want me to get angry. I more rather would take your mind away from that shit. But y'all don't want to go away from that shit. Y'all run into that shit. So the West Coast gangster mentality is so profound that it has corrupted the minds of the so-called number one niggas. But for New York niggas in the number one city, apparently when I was young, New York niggas was wearing ballet shoes and tight ass Jordache jeans. That's what y'all was doing. Polka dot shirts, flat tops with the hair, with the part in the hairline. That's what y'all was doing. And on your gutter shit, on your what you calling gully or gutter or all that old shit, compared to the gangster shit, that shit was soft. Now, I done watched some New York documentaries about a couple of y'all big time dope dealers, right? I was like, boy, they was vicious. But see, whenever you throw dope in the mix, shit get violent. And I don't recall them niggas having no gangs labeled Crippin' and Bloodin'. They had gangs. The gangs of New York. They had gangs. There wasn't no Bloodin' and Crippin'. It just wasn't in y'all. Neither do I recall any kind of Bloods or no Crips, nigga, who riding when Tupac was banging on Biggie. Zero zilch. Not a word out you niggas. But y'all got so beat up in that fight. And I ain't even talking about who fought against Biggie or Pac. Them niggas is irrelevant in what I'm talking about. I'm talking about who gonna bow down and who gonna stand up. Y'all started to realize like that Blood and Crippin' shit take a nigga to the extent that he ready to die for this shit. What is he dying for? Why is a gangbanger ready to die? Well, he don't really know why the fuck he want to die. He just know he ain't got nothing else to do. And he ain't good at nothing else but dying for this gangster shit. And when y'all had to face that shit, the street battle, that shit overtook you. Now, it's only right I let a Blood from New York speak, kind of give us his view of what the fuck y'all out there doing. So I found a guy, he called himself OG Blood Stackstone. I don't know, you know. Niggas just make up shit. I'm an OG. Nigga don't even know what that shit means to be an OG. Like, you know, you just hear niggas yelling, hey, what's up, OG? Oh, nigga, I'm an OG. nigga just self-entitle himself. Just turn into whatever the fuck they want to be. Niggas feel like because they in prison and they fighting in prison that, you know, that's some certification to being gangster. You got to go to prison, you know. On the West Coast, wasn't no prison niggas on the street turning niggas into gangsters. That came after. First you become gangster, then you go to jail. That's how that go. You don't go to jail, a soft ass nigga, and then hit the streets and think you're gonna tell niggas on the streets what to do. I don't know how many big swole ass niggas came out of prison in Los Angeles with that tough boy talk and then get crowned with a golf club by a nigga half his size who don't give a fuck what he talking about. I done seen it happen live on the block. I was really on the block. Y'all familiar with Whack 100, right? Whack 100 is about 6 years younger than me. So that means when I was 16, Whack 100 was 10 years old. And I don't recall no 10-year-old niggas coming outside talking about nothing. By the time Whack 100 got 15, 16, that nigga went to the youth prison. So he only had about a year before his ass went to jail. And he sat in that motherfucker 5 years. So by the time he came home, he was like 21. Nigga, the gang, the war is over, nigga. But he had his own little war in prison. It ain't the same as the war on the streets. Niggas be loving it. Nigga, I've been in jail for 5 years, 10 years. And nigga, y'all niggas up in there with sharp knives, nigga. We out here with scopes, nigga. All kind of street sweepers and all types of elements out in this motherfucker. But let's go on and get into the mindset of some New York blood stacked stone.
For New York blood, you know what I'm saying? Like, we started on Rikers Island. And so, yo, this is to LA, man. I know y'all don't respect us as being bloods, but this is what you got to respect. This is the thing. We give you guys props. We started hip-hop over here, right? In the Bronx, right? But y'all still tagged along and got into hip-hop. It's the same thing with a blood culture. So what? It started in LA, but it caught on fire over here in New York. And guess what? We banged for oppression. No, we did not start in the streets. We started in prison because we were being oppressed at every house we was in. Yeah, it started in C-73, one man. That's it, bro. And then it just trickled all the way up to up north and all the jails. That's what we did. We banged out for oppression, bro. We was banging out because we were being oppressed. You understand? We used to walk into houses and they used to tell us we couldn't get on the telephone or we couldn't watch the TV. Only thing we could watch is Telemundo or Caliente.
Now, hold up. Let's do some commentary because he's saying the New York blood started on Rikers Island in a jail cell where the Latin Kings is controlling the TV. Now, what the fuck? I wish he would have told me what year this event took place. So I'm just going to give him a motherfucking year. It can't be 1996 because that's the year Tupac dies. And you niggas wasn't jumping on the motherfucking airwaves with your gangbang. So we're going to put it after that. Let's get them niggas the millennial. Let's just start you niggas at the year 2000. Let's give you that. Let's say y'all niggas was in a jail cell and the Latin Kings running around that motherfucker making you niggas watch Telemundo. Right? So now all of a sudden, y'all like, well, you know, the Latin Kings are organized and we're not. Now, what the fuck was y'all doing for the 30 years before that? What type of niggas was in jail? Where y'all decide you're gonna reach all the way out to some LA shit to try to formulate a defense against the Latin Kings on Rikers Island. I mean, y'all didn't have no street gang in New York that you could have modeled your shit after. See, this is what they're missing. And he gives an example about, you know, New York starting hip hop. Y'all didn't start hip hop, nigga. I mean, y'all love to say you did. You loved it. You know, you want to go back to, you know, scratching it. If you describing hip hop as rapping to the motherfucking beat, motherfucker, then you ain't been listening to my show, nigga. We could go in the 1960s and get niggas rapping on the beat. Now, we give you some type of credit for a culture formulating out of New York that we call hip hop. We give you a little credit for that, right? And but we ain't gonna give it no motherfucking credit to no nigga today. No nigga rapping today. No goddamn credit. You ain't started a motherfucking thing. But we'll go back, you know, to whoever they say is, you know, Bambaataa or whatever. We get him some credit. Okay, y'all started some kind of goddamn culture, right? Now, when the culture came over to the West Coast, and we see you niggas rapping, right? We gotta get with the program. We gotta understand what it is. If we gonna imitate it, we gotta understand it. It'll be like the 5%ers, the gods of earth, of heaven and earth, right? They got a system and a code system inside the gods of heaven and earth, the 5%ers. I think they call them the 120s. And they say, when you walking down the street, repping that 5%, and an OG walk up on you, he want to hear you run through the 120s. He wants you to run the codes down. If you can't run them codes, you got to give me some push-ups, get beat up, something, some goddamn checking got to go down. So if some niggas in LA want to be 5%ers, motherfucker, you got to know the codes. And if you don't know the codes, some checking got to go down. And you're going to have to get in line. If you're going to adopt some shit, you got to adopt its understanding. This is the same complexity with this comedic RBG shit. They don't got the codes. They fucking up the codes. Therefore, everything after it is fucked up. It's confused. And so the New York Bloods is a bunch of confused niggas taught from niggas in jail. Came out of jail and still banging. Now y'all niggas got Fruity Pebbles running around this motherfucker 6'9". Just all the way out of code. And ain't no checking going on. Ain't nobody checking nobody. That's part of the code. You gotta put shit in check or your shit will go crazy. Let's finish listening to the OG Blood Stack Stone.
Yeah, I like Kelly Hinton and all of that, but you ain't gonna tell me the only thing I gotta watch on TV is Spanish stations. Yeah, I love my Latinas and all of that, and all my Puerto Rican people and all that, all Latinas, but it wasn't a race thing back then. For them, it was race. For us, it was equality with all. We had Spanish brothers that was some of the most gang-bangingest dudes that you want to see. Shout out to MK. Shout out to Magoo. Shout out to my real Billies and shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to MK. Yo, we had a lot of Spanish brothers putting in work. Houdini. Yeah, Uni. Yeah, people like that. I had a lot of, so it's not a Spanish thing. So we started off banging because we was being oppressed. That's it. Man, people glorifying off blood when they don't even know the history of blood. You know what I'm saying? So please, stop it, bro. Stop it. Stop fronting. Stop trying to get out here and make music.
Now, hold up. Now, he just said they out here glorifying blood, but don't know the history of blood. And I can tell that he directly talking about these new young rap niggas on the mic and that they don't know the history of New York blood. I know that's what he referring to. Because he damn sure himself don't know no motherfucking blood history. So let's go into some blood history. Gangster shit. We're going to move over where that shit jump off, right? We're going to get real deep down and we're going to go back to 1992. The end. 1992, the end. This was about the last vestige of some real blooding and cripping. This is when it all just blew off the motherfucking top. 1992, some motherfucking Rodney King riot type shit. It's ridiculous. We're going to talk to an OG Blood out of Inglewood named T. Rogers. He got a little son named Lucky. Me and Lucky used to be running around Atlanta. Flip-flopping on some. This is years ago. Y'all niggas really don't know how deep this rabbit hole go. Like, nigga, like, you really don't know. But anyway, let's go back to 92.
foremost, we look at it differently. It is not a truce or a peace treaty. It is a bonding of black men who have stood up and came together. And when they came together, peace has happened to be one of the things on the agenda. See, we have been conditioned and trained to dislike another brother. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the color that he wears or where he lives. 20-some odd years of conditioning has taught us that. If you ask some of them young brothers that's very active in gang banging, you ask them, why don't you like a Crip? Or why don't you like a Blood? His answer will be this. Oh, he sounds like Scooby-Doo. So when you start to ask some of the OGs what happened back in the days, they know the answers. Now, I'll give you this also. When the plays went out from what was supposed to have been the black leaders in the community, i.e. the churches, the politicians, and all of those people, nobody stopped to listen to them. They are not our leaders. The leadership comes from the grassroots and the OGs. So when the OGs say, hey, look, this has got to stop, so the younger homeboys respect the OGs and they say, okay.
Let me ask you. How difficult is it going to be to make this thing last?
It ain't going to be difficult.
Why?
Because the brothers are tired. We're tired of going through, can't go where we want to go. We're tired of killing each other, period.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
You know?
So it's not going to be difficult? Is that what you're saying?
It's not going to be difficult, man. Because everybody wants the same thing.
Now understand this on a realistic level. Good cops, bad cops. Good gang members, bad gang members. Good ex-gang members, bad ex-gang members. So it's good and bad in everything. So that's on a realistic level.
You think it's going to last?
Yeah, I know it's going to last.
What tells you that?
Because we be getting out there getting with it.
And what are you hearing when you get out there to promote this thing?
What do I hear?
Mm-hmm.
They want peace, they want love from other gangs.
Why do they want peace and love now as opposed to 6 months ago, 2 years ago? Why now?
Why? Well, the reason why, because 6 months ago, it was like everybody was tripping on this color thing, the red rag, the blue rag. But now, it ain't about colors no more. It's about brothers coming back together as one and eliminating the colors.
Now, whenever black people go before white people to talk about black people, I don't give a shit what the subject matter is. It is pure, proper motherfucking ganda. It's being done for politics. Politics ain't never about telling the truth. Politics is about putting out your point of view that you benefit in some type of way, irrespective of how you really feel. And I'm telling you for certain that while they was yelling that truth shit, niggas in the hood was like, nigga, I ain't truthing with nothing. Anything get in the way, I'm running through it. That was the consensus. Now, did the politics push a little difference? None. Motherfuckers was still getting shot the fuck up. Little small things got by. Some shit like what you could publicly do. So the world thought, oh, it's a truce. The Bloods and the Crips is coming together. Do you see it coming together? I mean, here we are. That was 1992, 2002, 2012, and now we 2018. Damn near 30 years. Niggas still fighting. Now it's inner beef. Now you got to understand something back at that time. I don't know what the real percentages was. But if there was only 100 gang members representing the whole of gang members, I'm going to say 70 of them was Crips and 30 of them was Bloods. If it was just 100. Those was the proportions of numbers. That made them 30 blood niggas extra motherfucking crazy. Because in order to survive weighing 165 in the city where a little nigga died, you got to be all the way about it. So it was something about representing blood at the time where you pumped a little more fear when you appear because your colors is so bright. You stand out. You can't blend in. You got on some red, you're gonna be spotted all the way across the room. But the problem on the other side was that the Crips, it was so many of them that they had to fight each other. Whereas with the Bloods, it was almost cold that there was no fighting from one blood hood to the next blood hood. And from where I lived, the first blood hood you could encounter would have been Pasadena, Denver Lane. That was about a 20-minute drive if you're doing 80 down the highway. The closest Crips, for a long time, they was far. With no motherfucking Crips, nowhere near where I was from. We had some internal Crips. They didn't really claim Crip, but they wore blue. But they was from Pacoima, but they was OGs. They was at least 10 years older than the neighborhood gang. But they was from there before them niggas, so they couldn't say shit to them niggas. They riding around the hood wearing blue. But they OGs, so nobody fucked with them. Leave them alone. They got money, guns, and they ready to kill. But the closest Crip neighborhood would have been somewhere in LA. Since we lived in what they call the San Fernando Valley, the area code 818, which got changed later. We was 213, and then they turned it into 818. That meant that the land that you regulating was wide. Now, I know the world, y'all don't really know much about LA politics like that. You're not really familiar with the day-to-day going-ons out there. Y'all familiar with the rap shit. You familiar with Compton, Inglewood, Watts, and shit like that. But the neighborhood politics is, if you hit the yard, you hit the pen, oh, you're going to find some OG Valley niggas running the yard. There was a war between being a city nigga and being a valley nigga on top of the gang shit. So now we back on New York trying to figure out what the fuck they are and what they gonna do. Well, New York is about fads. They don't stay with no one particular shit long. They ain't really gonna fight the blood war long. Because it's so watered down that, you know, in New York, every block is some different shit. That's why when you walk down 125th Street with these conscious niggas, you go Sarnetta, 5%ers, the motherfucking Hebrew Israelites, the Muslims, all in a 1 block radius. None of them niggas agree. Scientifically, spiritually, mentally. They don't agree. They got all kind of shit. They try to put up a falsetto of alliance, but it's really fake politics. Because every time black people go popular, shit change. So now you got a devastating mentality that has ravaged the ghetto nigga of New York. Mind you, Jay-Z didn't tell us nothing about the gang he was from. Not on no blood and Crippin type shit. None of the OG rappers is rapping that shit. They left that shit alone. So how did the mentality? And I don't believe this nigga talking about his shit started or Bloods in New York started on. I don't believe that shit. Because I know for a triple fact, certain fact, that in the 80s, LA gang members took to the motherfucking country with shiploads of dope to go triple and quadruple their profit out of state. I'm talking about early 80s shit. It was out in your city with that work. And here's how it works. Some nigga got the dope. He contact another nigga in another city. And he like, how much is the dope in your city? Nigga like, 30,000 a brick. Cha-ching. LA nigga like, nigga, I'm paying 9.5. 9.5 turn into 30,000 instant. I ain't gotta break it down. Matter of fact, I'm gonna step on it, cook it, twist it, turn it into 2. That means my 9.5 turn into 60 racks. Once I step on it, I get this 30,000 twice. Immediately, that nigga is on a plane, a train, the Greyhound, shipping it, duct tape, saran wrapping it. But somehow he gonna get this work to your motherfucking town. And he gonna go to the worst area you got. That's where the most dope getting sold. And he gonna pull up on your shit. He gonna have a Jerry curl. He gonna look like he been in the pen. He gonna have a gun. And he gonna have a gang of niggas with him. And a gang of niggas is about 30. Average nigga move 30 niggas to your neighborhood. And I swear, I don't care. You coming up off that motherfucking money. 30 LA gangbangers in your town in 1980 mean you got problems. Because they got another couple of more hundreds that can come. But most of them niggas too stupid to come. And they gonna find somebody in your city that they consider a killer. Because they ain't gonna fuck with you if you ain't a killer, because they know behind this dope money, killing got to go down. Because some nigga gonna try you for this bread. Ice Cube did a song about this. He called it A Summer Vacation. His example was LA niggas going to St. Louis, taking over the block to the St. Louis. Niggas got tired of these niggas and then fought back, and it was a shootout. Then LA niggas went home and said, fuck it, and left them niggas gangbangers. Because after this experience of about 30 niggas on the quiet, now, when the LA nigga come in your town, he's quiet with it. He ain't about to be standing on the block. That ain't how you move dope. This is where your gang mentality, your first interaction is coming from. It damn sure ain't coming from no motherfucking rap record. It's coming from some West Coast niggas that gotta have it. They want that bread and they in your motherfucking town. And motherfucker, if you ain't giving it up, you gonna get shot up. But the profit margin that they offering is so motherfucking ridiculous to what you was doing yesterday. You sitting here paying 30,000 and he then instantly came in the game and he want 25. He 5,000 lower than you ever paid. So it's so much money involved that it ain't even no need to fight these niggas. And within no time, he moved his woman out there. He done got her a spot. She holding the dope in the suburbs. The homies that moved into the ghetto. They done found them some niggas that think like them in your town. They done bought triple beam scales with them. Bullets. And they not here to be out here gang banging with you. They out here to be dope dealing with you. And if you fuck this dope up, then they gonna get to the gang banging. It ain't about no rap motherfucking record. It's strictly about moving dope. That is because it was first the threat of white people ravaging black neighborhoods all the way back at the early start of the gangs. So the blacks did what the black men on Rutgers Island did. They had to formulate a gang to get these white folks up out their shit. And then after the white folks left, there was nobody left to fight. But here you got this fighting mentality. So you just fight amongst yourselves. That's when that mentality cracks in half, take two different perspectives, wear two different colors, and they about the same shit. They trying to do the same thing. So now the white man sees you niggas acting like monkeys, and they love it. And to the white man, they just go, cha-ching. Here come a gang of motherfucking money we about to make. Because look at the niggas in the jungles. Look at the monkeys in the jungle. How can we make some bread off this? The white man said, no problem. I got a homie in the CIA and he could get the yay. So they call Oliver North. And they tell Oliver North, yo, don't you fly helicopters? He said, yeah, I fly it in the war. We need you to roll down to Columbia and escort some of our executives. And boom, the Oliver North, Ronald Reagan Contra scandal begins. And they got a thing for that ass. They said, since Lyndon B. Johnson and Martin Luther King and JFK and all them niggas want to integrate, we're going to integrate these niggas. We're going to integrate our jail cells with these niggas. And so the white man say, if we just throw a gang of drugs in with a gang of monkeys, they will fight each other over bananas. They already formulating mentalities of self-destruction. We just need to put some fuel to their motherfucking fire, because just having a gang isn't really doing a motherfucking thing, but just protecting your jail cell for you niggas on Rutgers Island. And for the niggas in Los Angeles, you was just protecting your neighborhood from outsiders ravaging your neighborhood. You want to be the offshoot of some Black Panther shit, but they've already got their ass demolished and destroyed and eliminated. So now they got to come up with some new shit. They're going to call it Crippin' and Bloodin'. And the white man is about to have some fun with this shit, because he plans to make the homicide rate go way the fuck up. He about to make the crime rate go way the fuck up. He about to make the stock market go way up, building jail prisons go way up, creating the prison, the pipeline system going way up, middle class job for white folks going way up, and turning niggas into coons is going way up. Because if it ain't about a dollar, it don't make sense. But as long as this motherfucking shit make money, this shit makes sense to them. So they able to establish communities in the middle of the motherfucking desert. Just build a penitentiary and a whole fucking community will build around that shit. And we will put all these niggas in it. And a goddamn community will spawn from it. And we'll make plenty motherfucking money. So how do you get the message out for dumbass niggas with nothing to do to start banging the red and the blue? Well, we're going to need a microphone. And we're going to need a representative to get on the microphone and yell out some dumb shit so another million niggas could hear this dumbass shit. So they said, well, do we have a microphone? They said, yeah, they call it the rap game. That's the microphone. And they was pushing a black power message. Fight the power and all that dumb shit. And fuck that. That ain't making no money. Niggas turning into broke ass revolutionaries. They said, well, what we gonna do? Well, if we put one of these niggas on the mic, let him talk that shit with his attitude, we can get the message out. And then a Jew shows up to Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, DJ Yella, and MC Ren and say, look, nigga, I've been ordered to come up in this motherfucker and get you niggas on the microphone. Do you got a song for me? He said, yeah, motherfucker. Fuck the police. And Ren said it with authority because these niggas on the street is a majority of gangs. He said, great, that'll do just fine. And they threw these niggas on the mic to perpetrate a motherfucking message that will only corrupt the minds of some weak-ass New York niggas. Some soft-ass, Jordache, jean-wearing niggas. We got to roughen up these roughnecks. These niggas walking around with Tim boots and Jordache jeans on. The fuck is that? We can't put niggas in jail till they get as hard as these West Coast niggas. Then we can put these niggas in jail. Create this economic financial integration plan. And so they flip the script on you niggas again. And so they allow the rap niggas to violate all principles. But they had a fuck up in the plan. Because when they start putting these niggas on the mic, niggas was still feeling sensitive about the real street wars that was going on over this shit. So they had to do something about that. So they went and got the niggas that already went to jail and got out and they broke as a motherfucker. And they said, look, if you niggas will come in the neighborhood and start a program where you tell the youth not to be gang members, we'll give you niggas some funding. It'll be good. It'll be like we're doing something about gang banging and the mentality because we got the OGs to come in and try to redirect you niggas' attention. And they said, well, that's better than selling dope. So I think I'll take that. So they go get these triple OG niggas. Nigga like Big U, Crippin. Say, look, you got a youth program? He said, yeah, I do a youth program. Nigga, a Snoop Dogg. Go get this nigga Crippin. He go start a football camp for the kids so that they don't fight each other. You know, this is the propaganda that on the surface, somebody will take the handout. But on the back end, they gonna let all these niggas rap and wear red rags and blue rags and influence the mind of some weak ass New York niggas. And if you from New York and you think I'm talking about you, because I'm telling you niggas, you need to stop blooding. You need to stop cripping. You need to find something else to call that shit and go hard as you motherfucker can in that direction. If you mad, it's because you don't know what no motherfucking blood and Crippin look like in the middle of the motherfucking war. You ain't gonna rep that shit 20 years from now. Not even these niggas in LA repping that shit. I know 1,000 niggas 50 years old. They ain't blood and Crippin no more. Nigga get a little bread and his first words is, I ain't active. You ain't active? What the fuck is you talking about? You ain't active. Yeah, you know, I just rep, nigga, but I'm not active. What you mean, nigga? If we pull up busting at you, you ain't gonna bust back? No, I ain't gonna bust back. I ain't active. That's the way of saying, nigga, I got some bread legally. And I ain't fucking it up. Because y'all don't understand, man, that when the gangbangers went out of town to sell dope in your cities, and they went to all you niggas cities, trust me, the prices of dope was fucking ridiculous. I did a documentary on my neighborhood. Investigating the documentary, I come to find out, like, nigga, the dope game, this became the hub of the dope game. I showed y'all the proof. I said, look, they brought the Batarang to my neighborhood. Not to no motherfucking Compton like the movie suggests. That's propaganda shit to make a good movie. They got to put that motherfucker wasn't in Compton. That motherfucker was in Pacoima, California on Louver Street running through a nigga's shit. I know the people who they thought they was running up on. I know those people. That wasn't their house. That was one of their mama houses next door. But the dope wasn't over there. And guess what? These motherfuckers knew it because they were the Reagan and Oliver North CIA drug program. The difference is this. The CIA ain't sharing no information with the local police department. So every fucking 4 years in a place called Sylmar, California, a drug bust would go down. I mean, thousands of motherfucking bricks of cocaine up in a motherfucking house. And every 4 years, nobody was ever in that motherfucking house. At the same time this drug bust goes down, the whole motherfucking hood is on drought. Everybody crying because they ain't got no dope. All the local drug dealer niggas. But yet, it's 10,000 kilos in a house. And the police raid the house and nobody's in the motherfucker. And I was like, I go to one of the big homies with one of them 6'4s with the gold Daytons and the all chrome shit under the guy. I said, hey man, keep it real with the little homie. How in the fuck y'all niggas talking about ain't no dope around here? And they just cracked the house, nigga, not even 3-minute drive with 10,000 kilos in it. That nigga looked at me and said, man, we don't know nothing about that shit. That was the CIA. I said, what? He said, yeah, like Ice Cube say, you could get your yay from the CIA. And so they're doing social programming. They know that for every cause is an opposite reaction, an equal and opposite reaction. So they like, well, the CIA will come in your town, fill up a house full of drugs, tip off one of the FBI agents about it through one of their street snitches, And then the FBI agent think he got a real link to a real drug organization, and they'll tip off the motherfucking local police, who will then tip off the sheriff, and they'll all surround the house and watch that motherfucker. But the CIA ain't gonna be in that motherfucker. And then when they bust it, they channel 2, channel 5, channel 11, channel 9, channel 13, ABC, NBC, and ABC, and NBCs, and all these C's and ABGs show up with the cameras so that we can see it. Because not only do we got to see it, but the world got to see it. And all of a sudden, they would have a big ass U-Haul truck back up on that bitch, and they would fill up 3 of them full of dope. And then the next day, we don't even hear about where that dope went. Then they would show us a couple of police officers burning about, a couple of 100 kilos for about 5 minutes on camera. They'd be throwing kilos on top of fire. We're going to destroy the dope and get it out the neighborhood. And I said, damn, they burning up a whole lot of money. But they wasn't really burning up no money. And they didn't really destroy no dope. This dope got sent to a motherfucker locker room. And from a locker room, it came up missing and back on the street. Because if you remove all the motherfucking dope, who you fucking gonna arrest for carrying dope? And how you gonna fill up a penitentiary if it ain't no dope in the streets? And how in the fuck is Officer Bill gonna get a job if every time he stop a motherfucker, all he doing is speeding? How you gonna run an operation off speeding tickets? It don't work like that. So I said, well, what was the purpose of putting all that shit on the news? He said, well, it's politics. In order for a particular police department to be able to get funding to buy armored vehicles, paddy wagons, AKs, guns, scopes, all the kind of shit they need, they have to show that they have a drug problem. And if all you catching motherfuckers with is $20 worth of cocaine, that's not really a drug problem on their Richter scale. But if you got houses with 10,000 kilos in it, that constitute a major drug problem. This is why it always went down presidential years, because that's the moment when the next president coming in can look at to see where is the drug problems. Well, there's a major drug problem in Los Angeles, so send Los Angeles a lot of money because we have the war on drugs, more propaganda. So with the war on drugs, they found that gangs were efficient at moving drugs. Now, let's go a little deeper in the gang mentality that motherfuckers really don't understand, right? In Los Angeles, the gangs understood that if you identify a leader, then the police will hone in on the leader and follow the leader around, bug the leader, and infiltrate through surveillance quickly. So they decided we won't have no leaders. What we'll have is a shot callers. Now, a shot caller can only shot call to a small group of people. He can't shot call orders all over the motherfucking city. his shot calling gonna remain within his little organization, street organization, and he only gonna have influence over niggas who not shot callers. But the shot caller still isn't the leader of the motherfucking gang. There is no leader. It's every man for his motherfucking self. The nigga with the biggest heart can become what the fuck you want to be. So you could be a nobody ass nigga and just get to shooting motherfuckers. And overnight, you somebody. Because you willing to really do shit that'll get you locked up forever. Niggas feel like, well, if you willing to get locked the fuck away or killed, then you got heart. So they breed a nigga to have heart. This is where you get the Whack 100 going crazy on the motherfucking rap game because he was bred in Pacoima, then in the penitentiary. But I promise you, what the rap game does is propaganda. So before the truce, or somewhere around the truce, maybe a little before, they needed that microphone. So the Jews got together with the black gang leaders and said, look, every time we try to put out our propaganda, you niggas start killing motherfuckers. We need rappers to be able to come on the rap record and say Crip, say Blood, say what sets they're from, say what hood whatever the fuck they want to say, and you niggas don't kill them before the month's over. We'll offer you niggas some money. So they came up with a rap record called Banging on Wax. One side will be all Crips. The other side will be all Bloods. Everybody on this motherfucking rap record today damn near dead. Everybody. It's one or two niggas on that motherfucker still living. And he got shot at 90 motherfucking times. I heard him on a motherfucking show one day. He all fat now. Nigga said, man, after I did that record, niggas was shooting at me every day. Because, see, that's real gang banging mentality. Niggas is taking this shit serious. But they're being molded and reshaped because they ready to take this concept worldwide so that they could really make some money off the enslavement of your minds. Because, see, it wasn't nothing else in America that had this kind of effect. Nowhere in nobody's motherfucking neighborhood that claimed to be gangster. It didn't have this kind of effect. This was highly effective. It's just why it's so popular today. That's why all these niggas is repping that shit today. But it was the circumstances in Los Angeles that made it so violent, that made it so hardcore. Y'all don't know what it feel like to be policed by the LAPD. You don't know what that feels like. Not these new motherfucking police running around LA today. They don't know what the fuck it feel like. I'm talking about them 1980s police. Boy, they got the business. They was hard too, boy. They was some hard ass white boys. We had a white boy. They threw him in our hood. His motherfucking name was Officer Cherry. This motherfucker was RoboCop for real. Little short white boy. He must have been special ops out of the military. He had to come from the SEALs or some shit. This motherfucker was incredible. We had a homie in the neighborhood. He was the fastest in the motherfucking neighborhood on 2 feet. Officer Cherry falls up in the motherfucking parking lot where these niggas is standing one day. I guess the homie had some dope on him. He didn't want to get caught with it. So he took off across the field. Now, Officer Cherry got on handcuffs, a gun, a big-ass belt, a bulletproof vest, and some other shit. And he go to chasing after this motherfucker. He hopping walls. He jumping over backyards. He running through dogs. He sliding through alleys. And Officer Cherry is on his motherfucking ass. Now, back then, this was in the 80s. It wasn't all that motherfucking technology like they got today. They had the ghetto bird, but there's so much shit going on. They not about to put that in the sky because you a police officer chasing down a gangbanger. Tell us when he starts shooting, then we come up out there. So for now, Officer Cherry on his own. He didn't even back up, couldn't follow him because these motherfuckers was running so fast, nobody else could keep up. Now, mind you, it's 20 other motherfuckers in the parking lot. Weapons drawn, they already on their motherfucking knees. And we like, oh, the homie gone, that nigga gone. We know this officer ain't gonna catch this nigga because he fast as a motherfucker. He breaking records at the high school. 20 minutes later, Officer Cherry dragging this nigga through the dirt all the way back to the squad car. We can't believe it. Not only did he capture that nigga, beat him up, put the handcuffs on him, he dragged him back another mile where he started from. Motherfucker, dragging him. This is real live shit. Officer Cherry came through the hood and just fucked with everybody. You be standing in the parking lot, smoking on a blunt, drinking on a brew, whatever the fuck you're doing. Officer Cherry pull up in there, and about 30 niggas and 2 cops get out the car and say, everybody put their motherfucking hands on the squad car. Niggas is putting their hands on the squad car. He patting niggas down. If you ain't got no warrants, and we ain't talking about traffic ticket warrant, they ain't taking you to jail for that shit. Not when I was growing up. It's too much dope around here. They ain't got time for that shit. Jail full of niggas with traffic tickets. They ain't got no more room for traffic tickets. They ain't taking you to jail for no weed. Jail full of that, nigga. We ain't got no more room for little weed. If you ain't got no dope, we ain't looking for you today. If you ain't wanted for murder or some other shit like that, they ain't fucking with you. You ain't got no dope warrants on you, they ain't fucking with you. And everybody kind of knew that, so they didn't give a fuck. They were like, look, man, I got traffic tickets. Officer Cherry, look, I'm not here for no fucking traffic tickets. I'm the dope squad. We're the dope. Nigga ain't got no dope. We ain't looking for you. And then one day, you riding in the car with your mama and your sister and your brother. He stopped that car. He get your mama out, your sister out, your daddy out. Everybody got to get out this bitch. He got to search the car for dope because you in the car. Your mama looking like, who the fuck is this? They're like, man, he the dope squad. Ruthless. They start taking motherfuckers to jail for everything. The most pettiest shit after a while. He couldn't find no dope. He just, fuck it, take him to jail for everything. I mean, it was like 300-400 people on the weekend going to jail for petty crimes. He was just harassing the gang. And then the gangster shit goes down. One of the big homies say, you know what? I think we tired of Officer Cherry. So we had a family in our neighborhood. They was kind of like, we call them the Huxtables, kind of. Not the, they had that. Daddy got a job. He a doctor, lawyer. Mama kind of on some doctor, lawyer. The kids all straight A student. They got bread. They ain't involved in no street shit. But everybody know them. We all went to first grade, second grade, third grade together. Everybody knows everybody. It don't matter how you get down. So they got a son over there. He's a real clean-cut guy. He don't hang around no gangbangers. He's at the beach with the thongs on, and you know what I'm saying, he's just chilling. He got bread. He ain't fucking with that gangster shit. And they give him a letter. And they tell him, take this letter to the police department. He take the letter down there as they asked. He said, if they ask you where this letter come from, say it was left on your door with the instructions to take this to the police department. He don't know who gave it to him. So he take it down there, and it told the chief of the police department, Officer Cherry by name, his squad car number, the times he come and go to work, the route that he works. And it said, if Officer Cherry come through this route again, we're going to kill him. They took the letter to Officer Cherry and said, Officer Cherry, the gangs is ready to kill you. How you feeling? You want to go back? Hell no. Officer Cherry never came back to Pacoima ever again. Now, they executed a few police officers where I'm from. They killed a couple of them. They got all kinds of means to get rid of these motherfuckers, and they want to make sure you feel it. They'll fake an incident, knowing that you in the area riding around in your squad car, and that your squad car will respond to the fake incident. And they bring out all the shooters, and when you pull up, they're going to hit you. Then the shooters is going out of town for at least 2 years. They out of here. They all got 50 racks apiece, and they gone. They go into your neighborhood, turn y'all niggas into gangbangers. Police ain't never gonna catch who did this one. This is California gangster shit where I was from. And as it spread out to where you from, you niggas get the watered down version of the shit because the circumstance ain't the same. They trying to make it the same. And y'all bite the bait. And now that the rap game is the microphone for pushing this weird ass ideology, and they can make rappers go platinum plus with this shit, New York wants to get involved and push this bullshit. Knowing that you niggas ain't authentic, knowing you niggas don't know the codes, knowing you niggas ain't running around motherfucking New York worried about a nigga killing you over what color you wearing, knowing that shit don't exist. Y'all make up the motherfucking wars in y'all mind. Y'all know you ain't gang banging for real. If a nigga mention a rapper to me, you ain't talking about no gangster shit. After the rap record, Banging on Wax, everything preceding that is a studio gangster. That includes Snoop Dogg, Tupac, the whole Death Row, all that shit. Studio gangsters. That's why we made up the title Studio Gangsters, to separate that shit from a street gangster. Because I don't know no street gangster that wants to be known for the crimes that he commit until the last episode of whatever he gonna do. And today he about to go out in a hell of shells. Then he might want to be known, but he don't plan. He planned for this to be the last vestige of his career. And so, because New York is such an influential city with the dumb shit, y'all really the Harlem Renaissance. That's what y'all should be pushing, because that's what you really are. Art, dance, gay. That's what you are. Art, dance, and gay. And all kind of combinations of it. That's why you niggas was rapping. because that fit right into y'all ass. This is what the fuck y'all out there doing. But what you are not for certain is blooding and cripping. You are not doing that at all. You ain't close to doing that at all. I don't give a fuck why you formed and what you feel like you're dying for. You don't even know what that shit was about. That shit should have stayed in LA. It should have never came out the boundaries. Well, I'm going to say California because, well, I'm going to say LA. Because the rest of that shit in California, you know, they wasn't really banging either. But they more so, you know, like when I think of Oakland, I think of pimping. I don't think of gangbanging. That's just what it is. But because of penitentiaries and the closeness of somebody in like Oakland can actually ride down to LA in 5 hours and be right in the middle of it, they actually got a real on the ground feel of what this shit feel like. And so they could take that back home and kind of keep it authentic. And so gangs formed over there too. All the way up and down the West Coast, from up in Washington, all the way down to Baja California. Everything got the real gang banging, effect. But as you start to bleed out of California, it just get watered the fuck down. It start turning into clown shit. I don't give a fuck how real y'all really think it is for you. The context in which it goes down under doesn't exist in your city. You just been played by some LA niggas trying to get money. They only came there in your city for money. They turned you into gangbangers to abuse you niggas. Early on, you could have went to one of these cities. I'm talking about early 90s. And you could have went to a gang city like Tennessee, and they could have gave you the name of a real LA nigga that came to their shit with a truck full of dope and turned their ass into gangbangers. Back then, you could have got somebody's name, and that nigga wasn't sent out there with a blueprint on how to spread this shit. He went out to your city for one or two reasons. He was either running from Los Angeles for a crime he committed, or he was running with the dope. And your city is worth more. And he willing to take all chances to get there. And when he get there, he need to formulate your mentality to move dope. That's why when they did the reality or the documentary on Arkansas way back in the days, banging in Little Rock, them niggas was banging. That was like real shit because it was immediately affected by dope. And niggas selling dope under the auspices of cripping and blood. If it ain't no dope involved, the penalties for banging ain't gonna be severe. That's why with the rappers, it's like, if y'all really banging, then somebody gonna die. Horrible deaths. And it's gonna be frequent. And if it ain't frequent for you rap niggas, y'all niggas are studio gangsters. And that was something that was created so that a gangbanger had something else to go do besides banging. I don't give a fuck how hard he used to be. As soon as that nigga go public, as soon as he start making rap records, as soon as he's non-active, and a non-active nigga ain't no gangbanger. If you ain't active, you ain't banging. Wearing colors and standing around talking the talk ain't gangbanging. That's not gangbanging. Real gang banging ain't nothing to talk about. It ain't no pretty shit. But it is a puppet for the system of white supremacy. They can't believe the type of shit black people is willing to do for $1. It don't matter what kind of black person it is. They just always amazed at the type of shit black people willing to do. If you a college educated doctor, you willing to sell dope legally. Because if you go to a doctor's office, they ain't gonna give you no Dr. Sabi type conversation. It's gonna be pure dope they got for you. They even created all kinds of names for it. And the doctor is smart enough to know that if I give you this morphine shot, it's gonna fuck your kidneys up over time. And they're not allowed to tell you about any natural cure because that would violate the system. Because the reality is that the people with the money make so much money off the people with no money. They don't give a fuck what you got to go through. Corruption is profit. There's profit in corruption. And therefore, there will always be corruption. So I'm going to sit back and watch this fake blood movement, and I don't give a fuck what they tell me. They can be like, oh my God, we banging in Brooklyn. I'll be like, stop lying. You niggas is wearing knitted hats in Brooklyn. Shut the fuck up talking that dumb shit. Man, we out here dying for this shit. Shut the fuck up, nigga. You dying anyway. Whether you was blooding or cripping, you niggas was already dying. Don't fucking use gang banging that like you really banging. You ain't really banging. You don't know the codes, nigga. You can't bang without the codes. Because see, if y'all knew the codes, you wouldn't even let a rap nigga get on the mic if he was banging. If he was part of this banging, he wouldn't even be able to talk on the mic. You'd be like, nigga, if you gonna go over there, you gonna be a rapper, nigga. Don't go over there, nigga, exploiting the hood, talking about you banging, nigga, and you ain't really out here putting in no work. And then if you banging, you got to be moving dope. Because you're gonna have to fund this banging. Somebody gotta buy the goddamn guns and the dope, and somebody gotta pay for this shit. And you niggas know, nigga, it ain't, y'all niggas ain't doing none of that shit no more. That shit over with. So therefore, you gotta give it up. You're gonna give it up because life gonna move on without you. Because you certainly not banging. That's what you not doing. You is not banging. You couldn't be banging. If you was banging, if you was really banging, that shit would sound like banging. Nigga could feel banging coming out you. But nigga don't feel no banging. Nigga feel like frauds.
This that sick rap kickback. Come to where I pitch at. The bitches love the game like Tyson Beck the six pack. Presidential road, nigga.
Where your wrist at? I can kill you in 4 bars. That's a Kit Kat. Live the Lambo my way. What a sick rap, smooth as Frank Sinatra with a motherfucking slick back. No raps in my pack, ain't no wrinkles in my slacks. Counting seagulls in my shack, stacking Pringles from the crack. Nigga, I was on the bus with it. Had 12 stuck in my chest in the field with the coat. Andrew Luck with it. We had the rock, hit the block like the suck with it. Jay was in the Z, my young gunners in the truck with it. Seagull with a love. Philly with a fuck with it. California state property, you niggas stuck with it. Bling. So Petey crack. Game was on the block in his beanie with a Mac. I'm with you rap niggas straight up. A Compton nigga that can go ball for ball with Jada. Let me tell you who suck like Banana Now latest. Black China had the bomb, Al Qaeda. Listen, you want beef? Al Qaeda. Game snap on everything. He like a fucking wild gator. Silver and black ghost. Nigga, that's Al Davis. Give me left eye back. Take Fetty Wap in the Raiders. The Rams is back. And bullets getting tossed. 16 on your back like you fucking Jeff Goff. Your man acting girly too. Put 30 on his chest. Kanye shrug. Bitch, welcome to the West. YG Nipsey and Kendrick. Yeah, check. Shout him out. I just do it like a fucking Nike rep. Bentley truck chuck with the Henny cupped up. Don't get me fucked up. You see the semi-tucked up. Pass the goose. Where them ducks. These hoes foaming at the mouth. They got penny fucked up. I'm about to poke them like a cactus. Told that bitch to roll a Philly for the game. And she talking about practice to make backwards. AI, artificial intelligence, motherfucker. That's Junior Seau. On my door, suicide. I'm in Vegas, shoot the fire.
Y'all know what it is, right? I might carry this show on a little bit longer. But I like the end of this rap that he do.
Nikki, this
Hold on. When he just go all the way a cappella.
shit.
Hold on. Let me find the right spot.
You wanna know who?
Oh shit, we getting close.
Ain't it this?
Here we go.
This is all lives matter except this niggas.
Now this is where he really speaking.
This 1992 shit ain't no new shit. We in all black. You wanna know who blood and who crip? With guns big enough to sink a fucking cruise ship. Fuck around and be a news clip with them loose. My nigga Drizzy packed you out and you ain't do shit. This the Golden State and my shooters ain't on no hoop shit. Nigga, you know that I snap you like a toothpick. And snitching on niggas ain't never been no cool shit. And I've been wanting to give Nikki this pool stick. So tell your little vibrant thing, come fuck with Q-Tip. We know where you live, nigga. You better move quick and start thinking twice about who you hop in the coop with.
Those was silent notes right there. Nigga turned the music off so he could talk to him. We're gonna come in all black. So you don't know who blood and who crip. Better be careful who you hop in a coop with. Now, Mr. Black Culture, I happen to read here. And you're doing the same shit that let me know. If you from Chicago, you the weakest nigga in Chicago. Because once again, you want to refer to some rap shit as gangster. This is why I did the show, because I just want to penetrate. I just want to penetrate to you niggas how whack your mindset is. Listen closely. Everything after banging on wax is studio gangster. Everything. Drill rap, studio shit. Lil Weezy, studio shit. Tupac, studio shit. Biggie Small, studio shit. Niggas in Texas, studio shit. Gangsta shit ain't getting on the mic. Gangsta shit moves in silence. Silence. Ain't nobody doing all that goddamn talking. The studio gangster, that's created so you niggas could perpetrate the fraud and make money at it. Drill rap is perpetrating the fraud and making money at it. Gangster rap on the West Coast is perpetrating a fraud so they can make money at it. And blood in New York is extra perpetrating the fraud so they can make money at it. 50 Cent is perpetrating the fraud so he can make money at it. All that shit is faker than a motherfucker. You don't want to meet a nigga preoccupied with being boss and you talking from the mouth. Ain't no talking. Man, we had a thing where you just nod your head at a nigga. It's called the head check. And if you just say what up to a nigga with the head check and he don't check you back, it's about to turn deadly. Ain't no talking. Gangsters don't do no talking. Gangsters don't do no rapping. Studio gangsters do rapping. Gangsters don't do no rapping. They don't make music. Studio gangsters make music. This is what the fuck is hard for y'all to understand, because they look like gangsters. They're studio gangsters. And it was a code in the street that some niggas could go play Hollywood with it to try to bring down the violence somewhat. And they took that shit to the top like they really gangsters. I tried to tell y'all the show I did well over a year ago that Hollywood came out with a TV show, put it on BET and called it American Gangster, the series, kind of fashioned it after the show, the New York show. And they went from city to city exploiting the stories of gangsters from city to city, except Los Angeles, where the gangsters was at. And there's no American gangster story for Los Angeles. They went to Baltimore and the dude on the wire, and they told that story. Big Meech and them niggas, they told that story. They went all up in New York and told them niggas story. They went over to Chicago and told them niggas story. They went down to Florida and told them niggas story. Detroit and told them. But when they got to LA, they didn't tell no stories. Because the niggas out there killed the whole fucking production. Because snitching goes for everybody. So you never got the LA gangster, American gangster story. You can't even identify a head honcho in LA. No average nigga would be able to do that. And please don't tell me about Freeway Rick Ross. Nigga, he was in jail and wasn't even aware he was a part of some shit. He don't count. I'm talking about real niggas that was on them blocks making $100 million a year from 1980 to 1989, when 100 million was probably 500 million today. You don't get their stories. You don't get their names. Death Row is no representation of no gangster shit. It was late in the game. The gangster shit went down in the 80s. There was no fucking Death Row in the 80s. Suge Knight is not a shot caller in LA. He's a shot caller for studio gangsters on the mic. Don't take that offensive. Just understand the difference. That they were allowed to gang bang on the microphone because they were offered money by the Jews to allow it. Indirectly, but that's the way the shit go. And y'all just gotta accept that shit. So for all you niggas thinking you gangster, you're studio gangsters. Real gangsters move in silence.